All right, what's up, Journey Church Football League? Finished our week 1. About to do our week 1 recap, week 2 review. Pretty boring week in football as far as fantasy goes.
Yeah, it was.
Very underwhelming. Not a lot of points scored. A lot of big players busted, didn't do what you would expect them to do. A lot of lesser players showed up and put themselves at the top of the stat board. Just an interesting week. Statistic I found.
The Jets are going over here.
The Jets?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's probably super loud. Oh, well. Interesting stat that I found. Week 1, 2016, so last year, there was 48 passing touchdowns thrown. This year for week 1, only 38. So about 10 less. Not a significant amount. I mean, that's about a quarter less almost. And then there's 25 rushing touchdowns to 16 rushing touchdowns this year. So that's about 73 offensive touchdowns to 56. So I mean, a significant amount less. Definitely disappointing for fantasy, but that's what next week and the week after is for. So a little injury report. There's some notable big injuries to pay attention to. David Johnson, man, first round, first pick. Big David Johnson is dealing with a wrist injury after making a play. Presumably dislocated. They're going for a second opinion. That news will come out today, but it's expected that he can miss anywhere from a week to half the season to more than that. So something to keep an eye on. Lance, as you have him.
You better manage.
Yeah. Danny Woodhead, running back for the Baltimore Ravens, has aggravated his hamstring again. That was the same hamstring that was injured, that was aggravated and made him miss the last 2 preseason games this year. So, I mean, and also you can note that last year he missed 2016 with a torn ACL. He was out the whole year. So that's something to monitor, keep an eye on. They still got Terrence West and Buck Allen in their backfield. I think it's Buck Allen. No, Javorius Allen. Who cares? Some other nobody. Allen Robinson and Kevin White, both season-ending injuries. Allen Robinson tore his ACL. Kevin White has a fractured scapula. So if you got those guys, you got anyone looking at the waiver wire, trying to pick somebody up to replace them. And then you got Danny Amendola on Thursday, who left the game. I think he went into concussion protocol. So he's going to be kind of a week-to-week, something to monitor. And then C.J. Fedorowicz, tight end, for the Houston Texans. Same thing, in concussion protocol after one of his plays. So not as big because he's a lot less owned, but still something to note. So now on to the fun part. We're going to recap week 1, talk about who won, who lost, what the upsets were.
Who's happy, who's not happy.
Who's happy, who's not happy. Half of you lost, half of you won.
That's math.
That's just the way it goes. Every week, that's how it's going to be. So my game was me and Ben. It was a good game. He went into last night up 10 points. With no players remaining. I went in with... Who did I have playing last night? I don't remember. Anyways, I won. I ended up winning 132.36 to 103.04. That is an upset. The projections were 114 to 120 Ben. So, upset there. Sorry about that, Ben. We've got Rich and Lance's game. Lance won. He got his one win of the year, I think, is what he's projected.
Oh, he'll get more than that. My boy, you got to manage. Manage, my boy.
129.28 to 79.84. Good win there. You crushed it. My other uncle, Ray, he won his game against Joe, 129.32 to 66.78. And And then the last 3 games are all upsets. Rob beat Greg 91.28 to 68.64. That's supposed to be Rob's 1 win of the year and Greg's 1 loss of the year. So that's something to keep an eye on. Greg's projected to go undefeated the rest of the season. Actually, Greg was supposed to win that game, 118 to 108. So technically it's your 1 loss of the season, but you're projected to lose another week too, so keep an eye out for that. Tim and Kevin, you guys had a good close game, 89.24 to 81.20. Tim upset Kevin, as it was supposed to be about 112 to 110. That was supposed to be a close game. It did come out to be a close game, just a lot less points scored. Then the final game, Eric and Tyler. Eric upset Tyler, winning 98.72 to 82.10. So good job. Good first week. 4 upsets out of the 6 games played, so that's always fun. So now we move on to our standings. After the week, the standings are I'm in first. Lucky me. 1-0. Ray's in second. 1-0. Lance third. Eric fourth. Rob fifth. Tim sixth. Ben 7th, Tyler 8th, Kevin 9th, Rich 10th, Greg 11th, and Joe 12th. Just week 1 doesn't really mean anything.
It'll change.
Patriots also have one of the worst records in the NFL right now. Doesn't mean anything. Last time they lost their season openers, they went on to win the Super Bowl all 3 years. So definitely doesn't mean anything.
Makes you humble, man. Makes you humble when you lose.
Yeah, you gotta lose. You don't appreciate winning if you don't lose.
That's it,
right?
I totally agree with you.
Week 2 preview. Got some good matchups this week. I'm facing off against Lance, the 1 versus the 3 standing. I'm projected to win that 110.78 to 85.73. But that is because Lance still has David Johnson in his lineup, who is only projected to score about 2 points this week because he's probably not even going to play. So once he makes that adjustment, I want to see if he has made that adjustment real quick, so I can just get a little bit more updated.
Can't hold the ball with a broken arm.
With broken wrist. No.
Yeah, broken wrist.
My Wi-Fi connection out here is poor.
My boy will work it though.
It'll be fine. He'll have someone that he can plug in. But it is a big blow. That sucks about David Johnson. I drafted him like 3 other leagues, so I feel your pain. So then another matchup, we got Uncle Ray versus Ben. That's the 2 versus the 7. Ray's projected to win that 116 to 111 or 112, right around there. I don't want to talk about fractional points anymore. We got Eric facing off against Joe. That's supposed to be an incredibly close game that I have to talk about fractions now, because Eric's projected to win 109.76 to 109.17. So, you got about a 59-point swing there, or 0.59 point swing there. So that's projected to be a real close game, something to keep an eye out. We got Rob and Kevin facing off. They're projected to go 108 to 112. Tim and Tyler, the 6 and the 8, facing off. Tim is projected to go defeated to Tyler, 109 to 112. So Tyler, you're projected to win that. Should be a good game, nice close game. And then our last matchup of the week is the 10 and the 11. Rich and Greg duking it out down there at the bottom of the standings. 106 to 112. Greg is projected to win that one. So yeah, something to keep an eye out on as the week comes up. I think this next week I'm gonna keep track of scores after the Thursday games and then after the Sunday games, and then this way I can give a more exciting recap instead of just saying this person won, this person lost. I can talk about how close it was or how close it wasn't. So we're about to wrap it up here. We each have picked a game to keep an eye out on this week, a real NFL game that we think is going to be probably high scoring, good for fantasy relevance. I'll let you kick it off.
I picked the Minnesota Vikings at the Pittsburgh Steelers only because of the fact that we're going to find out if Sam Bradford is the quarterback that he was last night, because he had an excellent night last night. And what can you say about the Vikings defense? They're a sharp defense, but also what are we seeing with Pittsburgh on Sunday with all the penalties and shooting themselves in the foot? If they correct that, I think I'm going to give the edge to the Pittsburgh Steelers, probably by 3 points. But I see them running for more than 40-some yards a game and cutting down on the penalties, and Ben throwing for some yards, and Le'Veon Bell getting back. I think it should be a good game.
It's a home game, right?
Yeah, it's a home game, and I think it's going to be very, very close.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, Big Ben with his home road splits, always plays better at home. Yep. So that'll definitely be good. First week back in Pittsburgh. I like that game. That's a game I was gonna pick, but I didn't want to seem biased. You don't care about seeming biased, obviously.
I respect the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, yeah,
I think Sam Bradford, when he's hot, he's hot. He looked phenomenal last night.
He's got that connection with Stephon Diggs too.
Yep. And that one kid that made the team that wasn't even drafted. It's unbelievable. I forget his name, Thiessen or something like that.
Adam Thielen.
Yeah,
he was a great late round pick. I don't know who picked him up, but if you picked him up and played him this week, you weren't disappointed.
No, not at all.
With most of your other players. My game for this week, I say keep an eye out for the Green Bay Atlanta game. Green Bay is going to Atlanta. It's a Sunday night game, so I believe that's going to be a pretty high scoring game. You got two high-powered, high-octane offenses coming to meet each other. But I will say that the Green Bay's defense on Sunday, I mean, it looked pretty good against the Seahawks. Now, the Seahawks' offensive line isn't really the best. You know, there's a lot of variables. They were at home in Lambeau, first game of the season, nice fresh legs. I mean, there's a bunch of different factors that could have contributed to that, but I think Green Bay's defense looked better than it has looked over the past few years. So I think that'll just be a great game. I think it could be a shootout. I hope it's not going to be one of those dud, low-scoring games, because nobody likes that.
No.
And then we have picked a game. We both agreed that we think we keep an eye out on the Philadelphia-Kansas City game. Philadelphia is traveling to Kansas City. You can look for Kareem the Dream to continue to stay hot against Philly's middle-of-the-pack defense, run defense, which is ranked 14th. Again, that's a very small sample size because we've only got 1 week to base their defense off of, which, you know, I probably shouldn't even use that, because right now, according to stats about teams' run defense, you know what team has the best run defense right now? The Cleveland Browns, because Le'Veon Bell only rushed for 30 yards. So that really doesn't mean anything. But, you know, Kareem is quite a talented player. I look for him to continue to do some good things.
Plus, Kansas City has a 10-day rest in this game, too.
Oh, yeah, because they played, they do, indeed. So that's something to look out for. I mean, Carson Wentz is looking great on Sunday as well. He's got that connection. He's been connecting with Nelson Aguilar. You know, he's looking good. He's got Alshon Jeffrey out there, Zach Ertz. I think there's two good teams looking to have a good game. You got anything else you want to say about that game?
No, I think Kansas City was so emotional when they came into Foxborough here. Can they maintain that same emotion and get back up for this game as they were for the Pats? I don't know. It remains to be seen, but I think they will.
Yeah, most definitely. Definitely going to be interesting. But, all right, well, that's it for today's video, guys, this week's video. Keep an eye out for next Tuesday. We'll be doing the same thing.
Manage your team.
Manage your team. Make your ad drops. Don't forget waiver wire. Waiver wire clears tomorrow, so make your waiver wire claims. Get in there, make your moves, and have a good week, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Have some fun.
Peace.